So you know how there's that theory that everything's happening all at once? Time itself is merely an illusion of the human experience? Well, what I'm trying to do is find a way to interact with my past self and my future self and create a connection. I know it sounds pretty whack, but I think it's more simple than all of us realize, and I think it's something we all can do. And we already kind of are doing. And now maybe you're like, what are you on about, Amber? And you know what? I don't even know what I'm on about. All I know is I keep getting this intense feeling in my gut that I am finding something, like I'm piecing something together. And I don't know if you guys have wild little brains like mine, but I find that so stimulating. And that's kind of what's led to this experience. I feel like everything I've ever done in my life has kind of led me to this right now. And now, if you're new to this, right, you're like, what are you on about? It's actually very simple. I am writing a diary every week. I'm recording vlogs. I'm recording voice memos, messages I send to friends, sometimes messages they send to me, songs I'm writing, music, creative escapades, videos that are happening in my own life, but also interactions with myself. Each week, I also host the reaction to the life that I am experiencing, and I edit that experience, and that experience becomes like its own little thing, which in very simple terms is really just this random vlog on YouTube and podcast. But I think what it is we're getting at is maybe something a little bit bigger than all of this. So if you're interested in what this is I'm talking about, then maybe watch this episode, see what it is you get out of it, and see if you can figure out where I can keep going with this, because I think we're all onto something. Thank you for letting me indulge in that spiel, because it's something that like really is hitting this spot in my brain. God, that part of me is so satisfied.
This is the real-time diaries of Amber States.
Before we start today's episode, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge the Whadjuk Noongar people as the traditional custodians of this land. Always was and always will be Aboriginal land. Now, what am I wearing? I am wearing a cute little pink little boob tube, some gorgeous little blue pants. Look at this little lacy side. Look at that. And my hair is growing out a bit now, but I'm going to wait till I get back to Melbourne in a week. Oh my God, for me. I'm going to be back in Melbourne so soon, guys, and the episodes are just going to get so much more colourful. You can't even. Hey, I've obviously got my full face of makeup because I've got a show tonight, which is very exciting. And where am I sitting right now? I'm sitting in the outdoor area of my beautiful family home, my parents' home, which I'm so lucky to be able to be staying at, which also is very colourful itself. This is where I sit like every morning and I eat my breakfast. I sit right in this chair, and you're going to see in this vlog that I do, in fact, sit in this chair. Oh, this is a good episode. I love this episode. Okay. All right, everyone, with me, let's all take a big, deep breath. Think about all the other people who are breathing in with us right now. Breathe out. This is, in fact, the connection through time, because no matter where you are, no matter what time it is, you just took a breath with all these other people. There you go. Do you get it? Do you get what I'm talking about? Anyway, Monday the 8th of April at 12:49 p.m. Hey, look, it's the start of a new week, baby. And what we have here is the start of an episode. Let's try something a little different, Amber. Let's chat. Now introducing Amber on Monday the 8th of April talks to Amber on the 20th of April. Let's do this. Hey, Amber. It's lovely to have you on the show today. Might I add, you are looking hot as fuck today.
Stop! Who told you to say that?
Well, you did. Or I did. Wait, who really asked?
Shh! It's me, the one writing this. They'll never know.
Did you hear that, Amber?
Yeah.
So, Amber, how are you feeling about this upcoming week?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling excited. I've got a good week planned. Even today, it's a great start of the week. I've got the next 2 days off from the show. So I finally just signed up to do some Pilates because, you know, ever since I've been back in Perth, I've just been missing being more physical. I have a call with Darren today, which is like a business meeting. I'm gonna go stargazing. I just know I'm gonna be so full after that. I have a call with Jess tomorrow. You know what? I think I've got a fantastic week ahead. You know better than me. Did I end up having a good week?
You're going to have a lovely week. Truly, you are. There's so many wonderful experiences about to happen for you. You're going to get super transfixed on space at the end of the week and have some gorgeous revelations. This is a great week for you.
I really feel like I shouldn't be able to hear all of this, but you know what? Thanks so much for sharing. I feel like we found a glitch in the system.
Girl, it was inevitable. Oh, now, one last thing. What is your intention for the week?
My intention this week is I want to live as actively present as possible. I've been practicing my presence so much, and I feel like now I'm starting to just tackle and just get rid of some of those things that were really eating up my life, like my social media, just putting more boundaries on myself so that I can do things that make me feel really good and make me feel really present. Even just yesterday, I created this Notion board for myself, which I don't know if you guys know what Notion is, but pretty much it's like an organizational kind of software. And I set up this whole entire system pretty much just explaining to myself all the options of things that I have that will lift up my energy or like change my energy in ways so that I can actually see what options I have for myself. Because I feel like the reason why the phone takes over so often is because it's just there. It's easy. Like it's easy to grab for a mood shift. But I'm like, there's so many other options that are fantastic that you just kind of forget exist. So that's what I really want to practice this week, is putting myself into all those other options as much as possible. Those things that really make me feel present. But thanks for having me, Amber.
Bye, girl. I missed you already. Good thing I'm sitting in this chair that you're sitting in too. It's like we're all connected.
Don't worry. I'm inside of you.
Sorry, just a side note. I really hope that I edited that well because that was fun and I'm doing it again. All right. Tuesday the 9th of April at 1:43 a.m. I went to Reformer today and hell yes, my body is happy. I got home and went straight for a walk with the puppies, only to step into the most fabulous call with my favorite business partner, Darren. What I find to be so magnificent is our ability to work together and uncover magic. We came up with the most epic ideas, and it just feels so nice to be at the start of what I feel will be the most epic adventure together. As if I wasn't already so deeply fulfilled by the momentum, there arrived my other alien friend, Pavan. Oh, Pavan, a magical soul indeed. It truly is ascension every time we are near. We ate and filled ourselves with fuel before heading to the spot, a spot we laid at over a year ago in the beach under the stars. Everything is exactly as it is, and I couldn't feel more right. As the solar eclipse did her magic on the other side of the earth, there we were hanging off, ready for the universe to take us home. But for now we lay. With all the wonderful feelings and silliness and sweetness, everything is already here. Now I'm going to insert a little snippet of Pavan and I actually singing a song that he'd written together. I want to give a bit more context before I play it right in, because I feel I haven't really dived into this yet. And it is the idea of a starseed, which in very simple terms is the idea that if souls are to come from somewhere, are to reincarnate, are to be something beyond just us and our physical bodies, which feels that way, right? You know, when you talk about an old soul or someone who feels like they're wise beyond their years, all these different ideas that we all resonate with, right? Like this idea of connecting to a soul or being soulmates or soul sisters or all this stuff, right? If that's all to be true, and what is true, who knows, then souls could come from other places in the universe, right? And so, therefore, if we believe that other beings exist in this universe, which also is like very likely, because to think it's just us in an infinite cosmos is kind of like a bit of a limited way of looking at things, then souls really could be popping up from anywhere, right? And living in any kind of place or body. Anyway, very interesting, fascinating concept that I have literally dived so deeply into and been utterly obsessed with. Like, never have I resonated with something so much. And I don't know what I think about it all, but all I know is that something about it feels really right and kind of feels like it explains a lot in my life. And if you guys like this idea or this concept, then look into it yourself. I pretty much just look into star seeds is what they're called. And I just kind of feel like it makes a lot of sense. And, part of me always feels like, oh, it's kind of weird talking about this stuff. But then I'm like, yeah, but isn't everything? Like, isn't everything a bit weird? Isn't the way humans live their day-to-day life like the weirdest thing ever? So I like it and I'm going to own it. That's right. That's right. Alien Amber broadcasting here. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. Anyway, this is a song that Pavan and I sang together. As I said, that Pavan just came up with. He'd written separately, and then he quickly told me in that moment how it kind of went, and we just sang it together in this moment. So very sweet.
Stars we falling, shining and giving light to the earth.
Yes.
I am just a star falling, shining and giving light to the earth.
Wasn't that the sweetest thing in the world? Zah! Today was freaking gorgeous. Insert a video talking in the kitchen.
Hi everyone. I'm in a great mood right now. We've got our matcha. Let's make our bagel together. Come over here. Look at that. That's perfect. I just love my friends. Okay? I just feel like I just have the most incredible, amazing friends in my life, and I just love them all so much. You know that feeling when you love people so much, it just makes you angry? Well, that's how I feel. Last night it was just meant to be. Pavan is, you know, a soul a lot like mine. We're very similar. It was just, I can't even put it into words how special it was to be able to spend that night with Pavan. You know, we sat on the beach together and we looked at the stars, and it was beautiful. It was one of those nights where there's no moon, because the moon was obviously too busy doing a show on the other side to be with us. Where I'm staying at the moment is quite north of the city, and so there's not as much light pollution, so you really can see so much. Looking at the stars is probably like one of my favorite activities ever. That's just like the epitome for me of presence and being connected. I just feel so at peace. I don't even need to worry about a single thing because it's the truth. I don't need to worry about anything, and it's so nice to be reminded of that. And ever since I was young, like if I was ever in any way not feeling good, hey, just go look at the stars and you'll be fine. Like, you will remember that it doesn't matter, like none of it matters. But what really matters is like, it's what you make it. Everything is what you make it. And now I'm about to have a call with my fucking darling Jessica, who you've heard plenty about, and I just adore, and is probably at one point watching this. Hello, Jessica. I love you. I love her. She's just like the perfect, sweet, soft friend that I was missing in my life, and now I have. And, you know, I think obviously you all know me, and you know that I'm very ideas, strong energy. But obviously, soft energies have to come out somewhere, and usually they would be in my relationships. But as you guys know, I'm a single girlie at the moment. I'm doing my own thing. And so that often means that part of me doesn't really get an outlet. But what is so nice about this friendship with Jessica and that kind of like group of friends is we like hold space for each other's softness. I just think that's the most beautiful thing, because it's such an important space. It's such a safe space, because I am just a sweet girl at the end of the day. I'm a little fairy girl. I'm just here to be nice. We've made my morning bagels. Morning bagels are here. I love them. Oh, there's just nothing like breakfast, guys. Breakfast is literally maybe my favorite meal of the day, because it's like the one meal that I really put time into. Anyway, I'm gonna finish this here because Amber needs to edit this, and I'm not gonna do this to her.
I love you guys. Thanks for listening.
The call with Jess was everything. It's like the more we spend time together, the closer and closer and more alike we get. She was spouting the most incredible thoughts and ideas, and God, I just can't believe how I got so lucky to call her one of my best friends. We haven't even hit our 1 year friendiversary, and it's already been absolute goals. One of my highlights of this conversation was sharing our stories of some of the best nights of our lives, and she's such a funny little storyteller. Oh, I love her up. It's just so nice being all cozy together and on our couches cuddling our little pillows. I love her. That friendship is like oh, it just hits like this spot in my heart. Soul connection for sure. But it's so true though. Like when I first met her, I just like felt an instant connection to her, an instant like you. But it's always like that, like all the time. All these people who became such pivotal people in my life there was always something like that you latch onto, right? And you never know when it's going to happen, but it comes out of nowhere, that's for sure. Then I had such a productive evening writing music, then editing. It felt so great. And I went on my phone way less today, all around 10 out of 10 vibes. And Mum and I are now having a cozy movie night. Insert a video out by the lake. Okay, this is such a special little moment. This is definitely, I guess, goes on what I was just talking about before, about these ideas of star seeds. And I think my just connection to that universal feeling that always has been there my whole entire life. Like ever since I was a young girl, I'd look at the stars and I'd just cry. Like I'd just cry because it reminded me that it was just so much bigger than we could possibly comprehend. And that our little lives, was just, we didn't need to be bogged down by it all because the universe had so much more going on than we could understand. And what a magical thing it was to get to experience being human just for this like peephole of a moment. Anyway, this is Amber. Enjoy.
Hi everyone. That's like the crucial part.
Let me just quickly grab my jumper. It's gonna make us all feel better. I am so aligned and connected, and I feel like everything is exactly as it should be. I'm realizing things about myself. I just listened back to episode 10, driving home from the show tonight, which was fantastic. Literally laid there as Natalie was performing her disco number where she spins upside down, does front flips and back flips with a disco ball pits, and everything is magnificent. She's got green fluorescent hair, she's got these disco ball boots on, and I just lay there and I look up and I see her and I see the stars and I see everything as magnificent as it is, and I'm in an alien land, and I am reminded of the fact that that is exactly what I'm in, an alien land. And everyone just forgot, but I think everyone's starting to remember because so many people are waking up to it. I know that I am in this world for a greater purpose and I'm doing it. I'm doing exactly what I came here to do, which is to inspire people, to wake people up. Because I don't fuck around, and I never have. I'm not here to talk shit. I'm not here to have boring conversations. I'm here to enlighten myself and others around me, and the only way I can do that is by doing it for myself and learning for myself. I feel like I can finally sit in this existence, this soul that is behind everything else, and I feel like that I understand now that this Amber that I thought I was is merely a experience that I get to go through. Like I get to be this Amber who has all these like wacky fun ways of existing, and she's colorful, and she's such a, I don't know, she's such a free spirit, playful and so just joyful, like wants to love and wants everyone to love, and she just wants so much love for this world, and she's so free, and she's so expressive and unlimited, and all she wants to do is show other people they can be that way too. Like that's it. Like there's nothing else to it. It's just so simple. She's just free. She's so awake. She loves it. She loves space, and she loves art and creativity and music and connection and people, and it's just so passionate about everything and not afraid to just burst. Oh, but she's still a little sweet girl, figuring it out, and how cool it is to figure it out, just to get to read this fucking book that is this life and get to do it all. And it gives me so much peace knowing that I just get to do this thing. I get to be on this ride right now of this little life that Amber lived, 24 years old, when the world was so fucking weird and confused and lost. And
unsure and just searching for something, and I can just see how I can help, whatever way that's possible. And even if that's just the people in my life around me, whatever it is I can do, I will do. Yeehaw! I hope it was filming.
Friday the 12th at 2 a.m. Really getting into a rhythm now with my days and feeling like I'm doing everything I was craving last week. Pilates is hitting the spot and I'm creating more and I'm on top of my organization and the pieces are piecing and I'm feeling full, ready for sleep because I have a very special day ahead tomorrow. Going back to you. Oh my gosh, I'm going back to the uni I went to 3 years ago. Pretty incredible. And I'm so excited to talk to them and share everything I've learned this time. It's going to be very special. Insert voice memo before the talk.
Hey guys! Woo! I am on my way to Whopper. It was my dream uni to go to. Ever since I was like 12, I remember seeing my first ever musical there. And that was it. I just knew that's what I wanted to do. I lived to tell the tale. I did it. I achieved my dream, which was so incredible. It's so funny because I didn't ever think that much about afterwards a bit, but I was so transfixed on that goal in my life. And then I get to live this whole life afterwards now. Anyway, I'm going in right now to go talk to the musical theatre students. I feel so many feelings. I'm excited, I'm nervous. I think it's just like, it feels like such a full circle moment to be, you know, the Amber now that comes back and talks to what the students. I just think it's hilarious. I really, I hadn't thought too much about it, but I think just driving in right now, I'm like, wow, this is just such a special thing to be able to give because, I know everyone who came in and spoke to us, it was always like you just take so much from those people. You really it's a glimpse at what life could be like afterwards where you really have no idea what to expect. I think what I'm so excited about is to be able to share how there's so many pathways as an artist to go. Studying there at WAPA isn't just training you to be a musical theatre performer, it's training you to be an artist, and that is above all the biggest thing you could give to yourselves, because it's not just those first few years that you leave, it's a lifetime. It feels like I'm going into the past, and like that's really special. Like I'm traveling in time to a me that was sitting there with all of this wonder and questions and not knowing what was to come, and how exciting it is to show people that that's awesome. Like there's so much to come for everyone, and in whatever way they feel deep inside, and that success is really determined by you. It's not determined by what you think people think you should be as an artist. And it's simple. It is simple, but it's such a fucking cold hard fact of truth, so I hope I can share that with everyone. Anyway, thanks for listening.
Wasn't that sweet? Okay, now we're skipping forward. She's just done the talk. It was incredible, and this is her after.
Look, this is the spot.
I just went and spoke with all of the WAPA kids, the musical theatre kids, and it was really beautiful. I feel just so fulfilled and so like full circle about this, and like I just did everything I needed to do. I really needed to hand over that information, and I just feel so like it's just felt very right, very correct, very much a puzzle piece that I think needed to be placed today. And I really hope that I gave them all comfort in knowing that whatever it is to come for them as artists is going to be so interesting and exciting and fun, and there's no right way to do this, there's no success, there's no anything that they can't find for themselves. Oh, that really filled my heart. I loved all the questions that they asked. Like, it was so interesting, and yeah, you could just hear it all. That was a question, like, do you feel any pressure? And it's like, I definitely dealt with that. Like, I definitely felt that at times, but I don't feel that anymore. I just do this because I love it, and because it feels right. Like it feels like this is what I'm meant to be doing, and this actually gives me energy. Like doing all this energizes me. It's when I'm not doing all of this that I feel kind of wrong. Like I feel like I'm not quite doing what I'm meant to be doing. Yeah, just like all of those beautiful people who are all figuring it out right now. Talking to people like that is so my thing. I definitely feel like I need to get into like doing motivational speeches or something. I feel like I'd get a lot of fulfillment out of that, and so I just kind of need to figure out a way to do that. I think this is definitely kind of showing me that I want to start working on like my own show and like what my solo show is gonna be, because I really want to get my own show out there. Yeah, I think the seeds have been planted today and it feels really nice. I'm actually a gardener now, so yeah, decided to quit performing. I'm just gonna be a gardener from now on, planting seeds all day every day. Anyway, love you all. Saturday the 13th of April at 12. Naturally, I'm waking up more than ever. I'm starting to see that this being that was sitting behind it all is no longer behind. In fact, all the other shit is in front of me. The ego no longer holds the way it once did. It was imitating me all along. I got distracted, but at last I see. I was here all along, and it's feeling more and more like home every day. This concept I'm talking about is this idea that the pain, the fear, the difficulties in our lives, the obsessions over things that don't fulfill us, the cycles that we live in, the karmic cycles, all that shit is all based in our ego. It's in our ego thinking. A book I would highly recommend reading is The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. This book absolutely changed the game for me this year. It's what I read whilst I was doing this podcast, and I think has informed a lot of what this podcast really is, which is amazing because it was all just serendipitous. Like it just happened that way. But it talks about the fact that like you aren't your ego. Like you aren't those troubles. That is an experience that you can sit inside of. It's like it takes over you, like it pretends to be you, but it's not you. And you are the one that watches that. But what I've been feeling, right, is I've been feeling, especially since that night with Pavan, that I'm sitting back now. And so now I can watch the ego. I can watch the ego in front of me like do its little thing. And I'm like, oh girl. And it's not like an instant process. Like obviously I still deal with things. Like I'm even reading this and I'm like, oh gosh, I've been having some real struggles this past week. Like, wow, she was really feeling great. And I felt like I hadn't been. But then this is what I love about this process is I get reminded that it's never ever been the same. Like nothing's ever been the same. Things can feel cyclical, yes, but it's always changing. Oh, it gives me shivers. It really does. But I think it's a very magical thing. I hope you can get something from this, and knowing that, like, you know, when I talk about all this, it's a journey. Like hasn't always been perfect. It hasn't always, it's a up and down. Like even I know last week's episode was like a very joyous episode. But then, you know, there I was on that day editing that episode, having a cry. So it's like this whole experience as a human is never ever going to be one tone, because that's literally not how this thing works. And all you've got to do really is just allow yourself to feel it all and process it all, but never get stuck on it. And never think that then is you. Like that I am an unhappy person, or I'm a sad person, or I am a anxious person, or I am a this, or I am a that. It's like that's a thing that you can experience, but it's not you. You know what I mean? And so I hope that helps. I've actually drawn a little diagram as well of this idea. So as you can see, there's the ego. And I felt like I was sitting there, or like humans kind of like, we've all trained each other to sit here. And so often I'd feel like, oh, like my soul, who I really am, like the observer is sitting back here. And so I'd often go, oh, it's behind me. I feel it behind me. But what I'm explaining is I feel like I'm now sitting here. And so now the ego is in front of me. Does that make sense? Do you get that? Do you get what I'm talking about? Do you feel it? I'd love to elaborate this more, to be honest, because I feel like everyone has a different way of explaining it, but that's how it really clicks for me. Anyway, I danced in the reflection to the music. It flowed through me. Pink Floyd collected to bring me this experience. Yeah, I was dancing in the reflection. I had a candle on, and the candle was like putting this light on me, and I was there in it. And I want to add that all of this, like, I don't know, my richness of my experience has really come from putting my phone away more. And I know this has been such a massive journey on this whole podcast. You've seen me talk about it again and again, but my biggest Achilles heel is my phone use. You know what, babe? Never have I had more of a healthy relationship with it. I currently use this app called Opal, and it's made it like actually just like difficult enough, but with like enough respect that I feel like I have a say if I want to go onto it, but I have to go through a process to like open up Instagram. I feel like now, because of it not having as much of a hold of me, which I thought I needed to use it, now I have moments to explore dancing with my shadow. When I have moments to go stand and look at the stars because I'm not instantly sucked into the easy option. So simple, isn't it? Yet it's so such a complicated process. Anyway, there we go. Hello. I wait patiently, knowing you will answer when we are ready.
I'm at a party. I've stayed over on the couch. Josh and Connor's place. My best friends who I was in fracture with, the band that I grew up in. Now we're all like family. It's really cute. That was fantastic. That's what I love about parties. That's why I always think parties are where the shit happens. Parties are where plots move forward. If you ever feel like your plot's getting a little boring, go to a party and it'll get interesting again. Just enough. You'll just see some people you might not expect to see. That's where the conversations are had. Anyway, I love you so much. Thanks for being here.
Well, that ends this week's episode. What a beautiful experience this week's episode was. I just feel like this really hit the nail on the head of what this thing is about. I really got to just explore those concepts way deeper, and I feel really good about it. I'm so interested to hear what you guys thought of this week's episode. Please, as I said, comment below. Let me know if you're enjoying this, if you're watching this, when you're watching this. Send me a message, send me a voice message. If you want to be a part of this, if you would like me to include things you're saying, let me know. Or if you have little challenges for me or anything you want to see, you can tell me what date to implement things. I will implement it. You know what I mean? It's really up to all of us now and our creative potential to just see what we can make of this. But I love you all so much. Thank you for watching. If you want to see next week's episode, if you want to get notified, then you can subscribe, hit the bell notifications. If you're listening to the podcast, you can press follow and that'll notify you each week as the episode comes out. But thank you so much, guys, for being here. I love you all. Of course, share it with your friends if you're enjoying it. That's the way we get this thing out here. Because if you're enjoying this and you're getting something out of it, maybe your friends will too. But I love you all. I hope you have a great week. I hope you're learning so much from your stories, your journeys. And let's see what's next. Ciao.